clearly sits outside that is a bird. This is where the sorrow being. That is where the attachment within being. That is where thoughts being avadya, pachya, pachya sankara means due to our ignorance. We create thought from the point on we being to feel jealousy, revenge, attachment, aversion. Why? Why? Because there are two sides. One side is the belief we are here and we believe that the outside world exists. There are two sides to duality. The truth is there is nothing outside. The outside is only thoughts. You do not meet the thoughts outside. It is only a meeting, a sound and colors together, coming together, the sound and color, smell, taste, and senses of touch, taste of spark. The mind or the vijnana is formed due to this spark. That is why we say that the mind does not exist inside the body. When the awareness of the color does not rise from the mind inside the body, we see because it's a light in case. It is spark that the all allows the senses of seeing the mind does not exist out inside the body. The mind does not exist in. Then our teaching of Dhamma. Buddha Father, our Dhamma guidance teacher, Dhamma guidance teacher, always explain this real Dhamma in according to the Buddha's teaching. But sometimes we are practicing in Dhamma in our day-to-day life of Pratipadava. Sometimes we want to we sometimes receive advice from a Kalyana Mitra. Sometimes we face this problem. We want to clear and unclear errors of Dhamma. Then Buddha Father, is spiritual Dhamma Guidance teacher, all the way to explain to us correct path to Nibbana. Then we listen to Dhamma. Buddha Father joins us sometime. Everyone, Saranai.
Once Arana, in our previous session, we explained that the true nature of the existence, and we understood that perception is deeper than what our senses reveal. And the Buddhism provides the framework to understand this truth. Also, we talked about concepts such as Dhamma and Paticcasamuppada Dhamma and so on, and the process of forming the perceptions. Then we related our Buddhist teachings to the modern and scientific ideas such as to the dark matters, the universe, formation of universe, and the quantum physics, and also about the string theories, and try to emphasize the deceptive nature of the mind and the world. Then we urge the people to explore more, and we encourage the people, the listeners, to practice these teachings and to overcome this suffering. And we try to guide them, to show them the path attain the supreme bliss of nirvana. So, there we were able to understand our senses, and we understood our senses only provide a limited view of the world. So we only see the half of the world. Some other animals see another aspect of world. So according to the senses that we are having, we perceive the external world. So we should keep this in mind. There is much more beyond what we can directly perceive with our sensory organs. So the Buddhism teaches that there is a deeper truth beyond our sensory organs, sensory experiences. So that truth is the Dhamma. Learning and knowing this Dhamma is known as Sammaditya. So this understanding involves recognizing the sequence of events that take place that will shape up our perceptions, sensation, the sensory organs. Is collectively we can say Paticca Samuppada Dhamma. In that Paticca Samuppada Dhamma, it includes cause and effect. If the cause is there, the result, the effect will be another one. It's like the cheese. It's like if you with an example, it's like making cheese out of milk. So milk is the cause. If we process the milk, when we process the milk, so it will change into cheese or the butter or something else. So the cause and the effect. Effect is the butter or cheese. So is be reconverted into the milk again? No, there's no way. Likewise, you have to understand this Paticca Dhamma like in that way. In the previous session, we talked about a kind of an acceleration, kind of a velocity uh, uh, that occurred following the Big Bang, which happened about billion years ago. With that vibration, so the vibration occurred due to that Big Bang, the great explosion. So that is the cause, the vibration is the effect. The with that velocity, with that vibration, the vibration then becomes the cause, the feel of that vibration, the name, the nama, the name, we call it in Pali, the name, nama. And then the representation of that nama is we call the rupa, the form. So now you know how vibration gives rise to the name and the form. So name and the form is the result, is the product, is the effect. Then the representation of both name and form is kind of another signal. It is kind of another perception. It is for that we call sanya. Now the name and form both become the cause, and the sanya, the perception, becomes the result. So you have to keep this in mind. So this all happened because of that initial velocity, initial vibration. Then that sanya, the perception, which in turn will be recognized as different perceptions by vijnana. So that is we call in English mind perception. So this signal is identified in different ways. So we'll put it like in other way. A signal comes in a one particular frequency is identified as light. In another frequency, we recognize it as sound. If the signal comes in another way, another frequency, it will be recognized as the taste and feel, to touch and from the skin, and also the hearing, the smell. Likewise, you can understand how this initial vibration has been converted to different kind of mind perceptions, vijnana. So, as you can see, the perception of light merely not came from the outside. It has been created due to this cause and effect law. Creation of sound has not been creation of sound had been taken place in the same spot where the vibration occurred. So it has not come from the external world. Likewise, now we can understand how these sensations are formed within ourselves. Those are our five sensory organs that we think those sensations are coming from the outside. But really speaking, it is not. It has been created. Has been created within your body, or can you point out a certain place where that has been created? No, my friend. You can't pinpoint this has been created in this particular place. There's no place for creating this thing. In Pali, we call it has been created in the Antariksha. You can't show locate a place that Vijnana has been created. Because if you show a place for that, even that place has to be seen by your five senses. So it is also not real. It is also kind of a creation. So those five sensory organs, senses are not created by anyone, or it does not have a particular place. Because of the cause, the effect has been generated. That is the cause and effect law. That is the Paticca Samuppada Dhamma. Paticca means come together and form another result. So if you recap, the initial velocity, initial acceleration created a vibration. The vibration, the feeling of the vibration were known as, were recognized as the name, the naam, the presentation of that feel is called the rupana, rupa. Both this naam and rupa then create the signal, perception, or the sanja is recognized differently with their variations. We called it vijnana. So there are five types of vijnana for if you say a human, you can say there are five different types of vijnanas. Five different types of mind perceptions. They are known as vision, hearing, skin sensation through the skin, and taste, and the smell. So you have to clearly understand no external light came to us and create the world more visible. So that is avidya, that is ignorance. It has been created internally. It is due to the cause and effect law. Collectively, this process can be explained as the skandha vigraha. In Pali, we call it entire process as skandha vigraha. The explanation of the skandha. Skandha means the bulk. In other words, the explanation of how this bulk is created. Therefore, we can say the skandha will lead to the formation of different perceptions or the senses. So ultimate results of the skandha vigraha is formation of what? The senses. In Pali, we call it the salayatana, formation of salayatana. But keep this in mind. Even if we talk about only one single vibration here, vibrations occur in millions at an enormous speed. It's not just a single vibration. Vibration occur in millions. In a fraction of a second, you will get millions of vibration. So, but here we study about a one single vibration and what is the process, what is the sequence of events that particular vibration is subjected. I mean, what happens to that particular vibration. So that is learned in this skandha vigraha. Yes, we take a signal that come from these different sensory organs. Then what happens? All these sensations, all these signals get together and amalgamate to each other, and that will lead to form some kind of a different vibration. It is called the mind. It's kind of another form of vibration, but you have to remember it is the same vibration with some kind of alteration. In other words, the different perceptions such as light, sound, feel, and so on come together to form another new vibration, which now we can call it as the mind. Now you can see here the mind forms within a fraction of a second. This is the skandha vigraha. The cause and the effect law also applies here as well. While the cause becomes the sensory inputs, the effect or the result in the will be the mind. In Pali, we call it Manadhamma. But I'm telling it again, it is still a vibration. Even we call it sensor, even we call it mind, whatever it is a vibration. Remember, vibrations are not permanent. It is an impermanent one. So that characteristic also we can see in the mind as well. That's why we call the mind is impermanent. Therefore, we can say the mind is impermanent. In the explanation of Skandha, Lord Buddha showed this initial first half as the first circus, while the remainder as the second circus. For the ease of learning only, ease of teaching, Lord Buddha divided these processes into two main circles. The first circus and the second circus. The end product of the first circus becomes the substrate for the second. In this instance, we can say the mind, which is the result from the first circus, will be the substrate for the second one. So mind will trigger the second circus. In Pali, this is called Vatnang Mattati. In the second circus, what happens is the mind itself tries to propagate in a circular motion, amalgamating with the subsequent thoughts which captured by the senses, and then it is subject to change its initial state to a different state. What happens is, within that second circus, the mind which was formed in the first circus will be subjected to change by adding the another sensory inputs. So that will become a different kind of mind consciousness when compared to the first circus. Okay, we'll try to understand this with an example. It's like this. In the first circus, the mind consciousness was the light, colors, sound, firmness of the chair, or whatever the object you refer. In the second circus, the same object is identified by its name or some other characteristic. That characteristic, in the sense, the actual name of that object or some kind of a remark of that object. that particular object is now recognized as an object which has a real existence. So we'll say the chair in front of me is real. I can feel it. I can touch it. I feel the firmness of the chair. I feel it is real. Right? The wisdom of knowing that mechanism is called Tututvapada Jnana in Pali. As I told you, now you can see there's an object which is real in front of you, in which can be seen, touched, or felt. That particular feeling is called is another kind of perception. So it is called perception of existence. So you feel that object is real. It's really existing. So that feeling we call it the perception of existence. In Pali, it's called Sanjava. Then what does mind do? Then the mind tries to find out who felt the existence of that particular object. The mind always seeks for information. See this object. Who feel this object? Then our mind tries to tie up self-existence of myself. The person who sees that object is me. The mind always tries to assign an identity to the person who sees the chair. That is me. At that point onwards, we feel our surrounding, everything around us as real. And also, at the same time, there's a person known as myself who see the surroundings as well. That's how your external environment, that is the way your external environment is created. In other words, that is the way creating your entire world. That will consist of the table, chair, bed, trees, mother, father, son, daughter, sun, moon, planets, stars, and so on. Here it is essential to understand about something that is really important. Just think, how does the name or the special characteristic or the remark of that particular object came into the mind in the second circus. If you think the film people, it is obvious that the name or that particular characteristics of the object has been put forth by a previous experience. Somebody at some point in your life, mostly in the childhood, somebody had taught you the name of this object is a chair, as a chair. So that previous experience directly come up in this second circus and ties up with the present mind status. So now you know what's happening in the second circus as well. The wisdom of knowing that is called is Ubbe Nivasanusachijnana in Pali. In the second circus, you had the Chutupapachana jnana. For that, you need to have the Ubbe Nivasanusachijnana, the previous knowledge. In English, we can say it is like knowing the formation of present skandha is because of the previous skandha with some alteration. Therefore, in Buddhism, it says that the present perception itself is an altered previous perception. In Pali, it's like Terasanya becomes new Sanya. It is now clear there won't be having a Chutupamana jnana without Ubbe Nivasanusachijnana. It has to be go hand in hand. You need to have Ubbe Nivasanusachijnana to have Chutupapachana Jnana. Now you learn how the senses are created and then how the mind gets created with those sensory inputs and how the thought is generated. Thought I refer here is the chair, mother, father, daughter. That is a thought. All these things, remember, all these things had not been created by anyone. it is an altered vibration. If we know the mechanism of forming this vibration, forming of what happens to the vibration during the process of the samuppade. So the formation of ultimate formation of the mind, that is the science. So you are getting away from the ignorance. So eventually you can get rid from the thought. Okay, let's talk about the scientific aspect of this process, entire process. Right? In other words, we'll see what happens during this Kanda Vigrahaya scientifically. As I told you earlier, whenever a vibration occurs, some kind of polarity is built within the vibration. It's like if you have negative and positive um, polarities, always there will be some kind of a power or energy built within that. It's kind of a field of energy field, electric field is generated if there is some kind of polarity. Likewise, if you take two magnets, either it attracts or repel each other because of there is some kind of magnetic power, but we can't see it. Likewise, when there is some kind of vibration, it naturally happens. Some kind of polarity also developed within that vibration that will take it is a positive and negative. If there is a positive and negative different poles, eventually it builds energy or a power inside every vibration. So easily we can say if there is any vibration, there should be some kind of a power, some kind of energy within it. Energy being built, actually. When a vibration occurs with this innate polarity, it aims to trigger its surrounding to vibrate as well at the same time. Because of this, the power, the energy that is built when the vibration takes place. And it keeps continuing as a chain reaction. So it triggers another vibration. That vibration triggers another vibration to occur. Likewise, it may and to propagate the vibration in a circular motion. This phenomenon is called sankhara. in Buddhism. In Skandha Vigrahaya, everywhere the vibration changes. I told you the vibration alters its nature. It is because this energy, the alteration of the energy pattern within the vibration. So that sankhara means this alteration is known as the sankhara. In other words, this process leads to volitional formations. So itself, it has some kind of a power of attraction. It is not created by anyone. It is the nature. It is the result of this. It comes as a result of this vibration, formation of volitions, volitional formation. That is called sankhara. Throughout this Kanda Vigrahaya, you see, now you can realize how sankhara is being built, how the volitional formation occurs. This volitional formation, as I told you earlier, yeah, so we are talking here about one single vibration, but in reality, the millions of vibrations do occur in the same times. So this volitional formation are huge. So these volitional formations revolve in a rapid phase by giving rise to new perception all the time. Now you can understand, as I told you in the Skandha Vigrahaya, the perception itself is a form of an electric impulse generated due to that initial polarity. Because of the vibration, the electric power is generated, that electric power will be propagated to another uh, vibrations to happen, and they altogether become a huge power with some kind of a big attraction. That is called volitional formation. In Pali, we call sankhara. Those sankhara will give rise different forms of perception at the same time. This change will give you a feel of liveness to the living being. We called it Itta Sanya. At the ultimate results of the Skandha Vigrahaya is also the Itta Sanyava. The mechanism inside is due to formation of this volitional formation. Volitions. Itta Sanya. It's ultimate, it's kind of a energy that attracts everything. Whenever the itta sanjava is present, we can say a living thing is there. It is necessarily need not to be a human. You must remember, if there is itta sanjava, we always refer to a human. We used to refer to a human, but it is not like that. It may be either a unidimensional living being, bidimensional living being, or five-dimensional, three-dimensional, or maybe a living being in some other kind of a dimension. As I told you early in this speech, now you can understand this liveliness or the Itna had not been created by anyone. It is a phenomenon which contains so many processes which happen one after another. It is an end result of a series of events occur during the Skanda Vigraha. Liveliness is a result from the sequence of events which occur naturally. That is we call Patisamuppade, understanding Patisamuppade, or the dependent origination, or the understanding the cause and effect law, which is taught by the Lord Buddha. That is the great treasure. So, once you could understand it fully, you will realize that there is nothing to be taken or considered as life. At the same time, you will feel there is no one to say as me or myself either. But unfortunately, all the ordinary people don't know this. That is the ignorance. They think they are existing. Everything around them is real. They feel like that. They take everything as real. But they don't know it is the, it is the world around him or her is creation of his or her own mind. So this ignorance always leads to take oneself as a soul. Now it is clear how the ignorance leads to the formation of volitions. In Pali, avidya pachya sankara, how volitions create mind consciousness. Sankara pachya vijnana, how mind consciousness form the senses. Vijnana pachya salayatano, how senses make the feel of existence. Salayatana pachya bhava. At the end, being existing in the illusionary world makes you born and demise, which put you in pain, sorrow, and let you to suffer. In Pali, Bhava Pachaya Jati Jara Soka Parideva Dukkha Domanassa. You know how the ignorance lead to formation of the soul, then the suffering. If we are able to comprehend this fully, there's nothing there's nothing called mind or soul. Who is going to suffer? Who is there to suffer? Making ourselves convinced is the path that Lord Buddha had preached as the path to end this suffering. In other words, that is the path to Nirvana. I think that is enough for the day. And please listen this again very carefully and try to understand the truth what I tried to emphasize through this speech. And also, please listen to the Buddhopada sermons published in www.buddhopadadhamma.com website as well. May Triple Gem bless you all. Thank you.
Saranai. We have come to the end of our session. Much merits to our main Vasi for the detailed introduction.
Oh, our time is past. The listeners is very, very full. We thanks all about this sermon delivered to Mr. I think Mr. Pari in Thiruvan Saranai. All of us Thiruvan Saranai. Today we shall stop our Zoom discussion, okay? No.
Saranai,
Okay.
Today's topic was about how the mind is created. It was a very, very detailed explanation. Thank you, our Dhamma friend, for your valuable speech. Theruvan Sannai, everyone.